Some crimes do not happen in silence. They echo. The story of baby Emmanuel Haro is not just a tragedy of one night, one family, one crime. It is the shadow of a cycle that began long before his final breath, in the broken patterns of abuse, denial, and deception. Welcome back to the Way of Truth Tarot. My name is Mandy. For those of you who are just joining, and for those of you who are returning, hello again, and thank you so much for being here. Today's reading is part 2 of Unmasking the Haros. And in this particular part of the reading, part 2, we are going to be taking a look at the timeline and the missing remains of baby Emmanuel. And then we're going to be looking at the larger system, justice system, and the collective shadow that this case has put on all of the people that are witnessing it. Everything said in this reading is alleged, in my opinion, based on the energy and the card meanings, not facts. When I divulge facts, I will tell you they are facts. All right, let's get started. I'm just going to pull up my document camera. Have that. There we go. And it's at 120 timeline. Okay. Let's get started. What really happened between August 5th and August 14th that investigators may have overlooked? Okay, so that's a week, 7 days. What really happened between August 15th and August 14th that investigators may have overlooked? Okay. I'm really hoping that you guys that are watching this have just finished watching the first part of this reading. And I say that specifically because of this Two of Cups card. This card in that last reading came out almost every single time. And it represents Jake and Rebecca. So, for some reason, this is representing to me the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It's representing the bad stuff that they were into together. For some reason, and I'm not sure if it's like the gambling on the card right here, because this is the Unveiled Tarot, gives you these little windows into pictures of like something else that has to do with the card. And this is gambling. I did mention in the last reading that they were had dependency issues on for substances. I'm not really sure what the substance is, but this is representing whatever they were into that made their life deteriorate quicker. Like, yeah. And Six of Wands in reverse is like trying to hide it from everybody, trying to have something not be publicly known. So what they overlooked was what they were into as far as their lifestyle is concerned. Let me get some whispers to see if they can give us a little bit more context into. Give me some whispers that can add more context to the Wheel of Fortune in reverse card, please. Celebrity in reverse. So that is this card. Celebrity in reverse is not wanting the public to know. Work and corruption. So what did he do for work? And I don't mean like, I don't know if he has a job or didn't have a job, but I'm not talking about if he had a job or not. I'm talking about what was he into that helped fuel this negative lifestyle. Because there was something and he was profiting from it. And that has been overlooked. And they're just focused on baby Emmanuel, right? I don't think that they really cared about the other illegal activity that he was necessarily doing, because what they were trying to get him for is the ultimate worst thing that you could do other than sexually assaulting a child. So let's see if there's anything else. Well, actually, before I expand on that, let's get some of the heart's hidden secrets and see if we can again find more information about what this Wheel of Fortune in reverse card is representing. Conflicted. Again, there's alcohol. I think they drink. I do think they're alcoholics, but that's not, there's something else. There's something else that intimacy. Confiding. It says confiding on the card. Also, decisions for this card. Decisions and multiple choices and being conflicted. Okay, wait. What was he conflicted about? The secret's getting out. He's got way more shit that he's hiding. Honestly, like, I think that whatever the police have overlooked, they overlooked a gold mine. They overlooked a gold mine. Okay, wait, I'll just put these cards over here and put this back here and give me more information about the secrets that the moon is representing. Keeping it all. So, Eight of Wands upright is like fast communication, direct communication. This is in reverse. This is like keeping it all close to the chest. The Lovers. Choices. Tower in reverse, World in reverse. Yeah, all these secrets. He kept close to his chest to protect a choice that he specifically made so that that wouldn't come down and the world wouldn't find out about any of it. But there's corrupted media source. That's, to me, making me feel like a lack of trust. Like, all right, show me more whispers about what has been overlooked by the cops. And, oh, actually, first, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm going to get 7 whispers for what really happened between August 5th and August 14th. Then I'm going to use the tarot and see what has been overlooked for each of the things. Okay. So give me a card for what really happened on the 5th, August 5th. Water. August 6th. August 7th. I grabbed those together. August 8th. August 9. Got 2 again. Family in reverse. And trash. Oh my God. Oh my God. Life insurance. Oh my God. This is disgusting. I'm not sure if they have, I haven't heard, but I'm not sure if they have a life insurance policy out on baby Emmanuel. But if they don't, what this is actually making me feel is like insurance that their life will be okay. As in, that they're not going to get caught. Okay, how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. Day 7. Kidnapped and hands tied. Oh, I have. So it's like. Describe to me how baby Emmanuel passed. Five of Cups. Page of Wands. So, someone was in a state, a depressed, like, not in a good state. They were working towards fixing that or releasing. And then the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So what they were doing to make themselves feel better, this was representing the whatever they were into, and I don't know what it is. It's has something to do with substance, but there's another element to it that I just can't put my finger on it. And I don't know if my higher self is like trying, or my ego, or whatever it is trying to protect me from knowing what it is. It's more than just substance use, but that is in this. And it's a routine habit, typical. Like, he always does this. Her too. And that's what, when he feels like shit, he works towards doing this thing to make himself feel better. So what happened next? 7 of Swords. Interesting, it's somebody lying on the stand. Coming up with a plan. What are we going to say to society, to the world? betrayal. That's what this is representing, betrayal. Hermit in reverse, so not alone, as in not just Jake. This is also integration. So this is like I betray and then I integrate, I complete the cycle. I complete the cycle of abuse. It wasn't just me alone. And up here we have spousal partner. We've got the routine, right? The habit. We've got the secret. And emotional sat in reverse, so none of that. We have to stick together because you did it too. Our family is fractured and we have to clean up so that our life is insured and that we don't get caught. We're going to say that someone kidnapped him because our hands are tied. We cannot tell the truth. So Jake has a rough go. He needs to work himself to make himself feel better. He goes and he engages in this lifestyle that is unhealthy and not good, but it makes him feel better. He betrays baby Emmanuel, completes the cycle of abuse with Rebecca. Okay, what was baby Emmanuel doing the last moments that he was and because he was abused, it's really hard to, like, when was he never not hurt? But, like, what was going on in the last moments before this him dying? Like, give me his energy right before this event happened to him. Give me a card for him. What was he doing? Page of Cups. Being curious. Okay. Show me mom and dad. Darkness. Mom and dad were doing that weird thing with the Wheel of Fortune reverse. Like, whatever routine, habit, typical, whatever that is, they were doing. It's secrets. It's something that they don't want the public to know. It's something they don't want anybody to know because it's dark. And that's what the moon card is representing. So what happens next? Baby Emmanuel is being curious. Mom and dad are doing the dark stuff. What happens next? Oh my God. Oh my God. Death and putting down a heavy burden. what was he? Okay. How do you go from here to here? How do you go from being a curious child to death in unbalance? Okay, yes, unbalance. Do you mean that literally? The puppeteer. The puppeteer. This is not a regular card in the tarot. This is an extra card that is in the unveiled tarot that I'm using, and you've got two people, the marionettes fighting, and then somebody controlling the strings. This is pointing to, and it's right under the moon, that darkness that they're into, the substance, is pulling the strings in their dynamic, in their relationship, making them fight. So Jake and Rebecca's emotions were already jacked right up, and not in a good way. Baby Emmanuel's being curious. And then we have an offer of love with the Knight of Cups. I don't understand that. Give me another card that will help make this be clearer. Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is self-protection. And it's right under the Death card. We got a token because I just still don't understand where the Knight of Cups comes in. Please make this Knight of Cups help me understand. Oh, where's my little book? Shit. Oh, where's my little bookie? Here it is. Good. Okay. 95. Oh my God. I don't. What? Okay, so, oh my God. I think he gave him drugs. Okay, so the Knight of Cups is an offer. It's an offer. It's usually an offer of love. The coffee cup, the definition for that is awaken your senses or free and open discourse. I think, I seriously think that in his sick, his sick brain, Jake's sick brain, oh my God. Okay, this might sound crazy. I don't know. Until baby Emmanuel is found, we won't know what happened. But I think that he was given something. I think that I think he was given something. As a sick. What I'm thinking, and this is a trigger warning, what I'm thinking is they gave him whatever they were on, and I keep coming back to the awaken your senses. Thinking that it was going to make him, I don't know, more alert, more cognizant. I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, I can't get into that headspace fully because I'm not sick like that, but he gave him something. He gave him something. Yes, he has abused him physically with violence before, but in this instance, I don't think it was physical violence. I think he literally gave him something that poisoned him. Allegedly, my opinion. That's why it was an ultimate betrayal, because it was like giving him something, um and the kid being, the kid is like, oh, thanks for the food, their drink, or the treat. Like, this is changing everything for me. Like, how I view him. Like, this is even more sadistic than I thought he ever could be. What did law enforcement overlook? What did law enforcement overlook? Yeah, what they're into on the side, because that is directly linked to baby Emmanuel's passing, because whatever they're into is what he gave him, in my opinion, allegedly. So many options. There's so many things. And again, the Ten of Cups card, this is representing this facade they put on, but really, behind the surface, it is a life of being at rock bottom. There was a lot of stuff as far as like evidence was concerned. They had a priority and a priority only, and that was to find DNA or the baby or whatever. I think that they didn't realize that the stuff that they were overlooking will eventually give them the key to the baby's disappearance. Because maybe the people that they associate with that have to do with this, the bad things in this card, like maybe they have information. Who knows? Why have Emmanuel's remains not yet been recovered? What does this reveal about the mindset and the choices of the Haros at the time? Okay, first part of the question. Why have Emmanuel's remains not been recovered yet? Why have Emmanuel's remains not been recovered yet? Because that's how he planned it. The lovers, because that's how him and Rebecca have chosen to organize this. King of Wands is purpose, action. They have chosen to act a certain way so that this child cannot be found. As when they, my first part of the reading, I saw them discussing, as long as they can't find anything DNA wise in the house about the baby, then in their head, they could get away with it. Thank God they were wrong. Okay. Do you have anything else to say as to why his remains have not been found yet? King of Pentacles. The Emperor. Yeah, they have literally planned it. Focused on the remains part. Usually a lot of people focus on the killing part and like the cleanup and the remains after. But this is like, no, this is the whole point. Is like this, we have to literally make this body not exist. Ugh. Let me get some whispers. Why have Emmanuel's remains not been found yet? Okay. This is telling me something. There's going to be some delays. Okay? Not going to happen right away. Someone who is not a stranger, someone who knows Jake and Rebecca, is going to come and communicate and give us a gift. Backstabber, snake in reverse is, yes, they are backstabbing Rebecca and Jake, but for a good reason. That's why it's in reverse, because it's not for a bad reason. It's not like, I'm not saying this person is a good person. I'm saying that what they're doing is a good thing. Allegedly, my opinion, I think that because the delays say that it's not gonna happen right away. and Democrat, exposing the narrative that's hidden. Okay, I'm gonna clean this up so we have more room. What does this reveal about the mindset and the choices of the Haros at the time? What does this reveal about the mindset and the choices of the Haros at the time? Puppeteer. Knight of Wands in reverse. Very impulsive individual. Flies off the handle like that. Anger problems. I think they like to fight. I think they get off on it, both of them. Four of Cups in reverse. The Devil. Page of Swords in reverse. Two of Pentacles, Three of Cups, and then the Ace of Swords. So, Ace of Swords is truth. What this is saying is that these people react to things. They don't problem solve. They don't they don't think. They don't use their brain. They feed off of each other, off of each other's anger, and in this with the substance too. Extremely, there's a lot of impulsivity and just losing tempers. Rebecca is extremely unbalanced emotionally. I think some days she's like barely keeping her head above water. Other days she's paranoid and a bit deluded. And I think that she is a very jealous and needy type woman. This is again the family, and it's representing this family perfectly. The facade, but then the evil that lurks beneath. Vigilancy, Page of Swords. They're always on the offense, on the counterattack, because they juggle with grenades. And partying is their lifestyle. Distraction is their lifestyle. Ace of Swords is the sword of truth. It's every choice that they made was a reaction to their unbalanced emotion and their and being high. Like, what unseen details around the disposal or concealment of his body could help bring closure? What unseen details around the disposal or concealment of his body could help bring closure? Unseen details around the disposal or concealment of Emmanuel's body could help bring details and closure. What unseen details around the disposal or concealment could help bring closure? Okay, strength. This is making me feel like whatever Emmanuel was put in, it's really heavy. Like, it takes a lot of strength to pick it up. So, like, people wouldn't think to do it because it's like just too heavy, and it's like the last place that anybody would think to look. The High Priestess. High Priestess is intuition. Hmm. The Hermit in reverse. The Hermit in reverse makes me think that it is not. The Hermit in reverse is making me feel like it's hiding in plain sight. Like, in the last place people would think to look would be in obvious spots. And this star. I don't know. Give me some more context to the star card, please. So we've got the black cat. Mystery or magic, good or bad luck, superstition, and anarchy. Okay, superstitious. He's from Mexico, I believe. I'm wondering if where he put Emmanuel has something to do with like a folklore in his culture or something weird like that. Like placing him in a very specific spot because of a superstition, as an example. It's weird. And 112. Pi. Complex issues requiring formulaic resolutions. All right. Well, now that I read that, I'm wondering if okay, so the black cat was about magic, superstitions, that kind of thing. Pi is about being strategic. What does it say again? Complex issues requiring formulaic resolution. Spells are formulas. That's exactly what they are. When people have complex issues, they'll do a spell to try to help that complex issue. The star is also about like hope. I'm wondering if they I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I'm wondering if they're into Santeria and that is what that has been that Wheel of Fortune in reverse is representing. I said, like, it's not just drugs. Like, there's something else that's, I can't put my finger on it, that's dark. The reason why I couldn't put my finger on it is because it didn't feel like other criminal activity. It felt different, and something that they would not want anybody to just know about. Because a lot of the times, what gives these spells so much power is the secrecy. I'm wondering if... I don't think that baby Emmanuel passed away because they needed it for a spell. But I think that after it happened, they, in their deluded frame of mind, tried to use Santeria and use baby Emmanuel's body to pay for protection against them getting caught. I know that sounds nuts, but that is what I'm getting. That is what I'm getting. And that would have been also one of the things that they overlooked. Because if the cops, let's say they found altars or whatever, it's a religion. They don't care about that. They just want to find the kid, but they don't realize that that is connected to finding the kid. I did not see this going in this direction. I really didn't. Like, I really didn't. And yeah, the Santeria shit would be the unseen details. Because if you know the details of whatever ritual that they were doing with the remains, then you have you have a higher chance of finding that spot. I am going to do some really gross research. I'm going to do some research into that, into that religion. And I'm going to see what I can find in terms of rituals that have to do with protecting against criminal activity. And using remains as part of the ritual. That is this is alleged, this is all alleged. But I'm going to do some research because at this point, nothing would surprise me anymore. It really wouldn't, especially in this case. Get some places deck. Show me some places that are directly related to where baby Emmanuel's remains are or how he's been disposed. Hospital. Do you remember when I had the whispers and the first card was water? Cool. Crossroads. A turning point. This is about learning, gaining knowledge. What about where his remains are? Can you show me any spots like that? A bridge. Guiding light. A symbol of hope. Okay. Kitchen. A garden. Scorched lands. And there's a casino again, that debt, the gambling, and a lake. Hang on one sec, I've got a call. I'll just get it. Okay. I don't know. Okay, these won't make much more sense until we get some more information from the case, right? Like, and I would imagine police are going to keep things closer to their chest about, I don't know, details right now, I'm assuming. Where are we? All right. The larger system and the collective shadow. Okay. Why was Jake able to continue this cycle after his first conviction? Why was Jake able to continue this cycle after his first conviction? Because the system wasn't working properly. The chariot upright is two opposing forces working for a common goal. There wasn't that. There wasn't a full team. There was missing parts to the system, or the justice machine, if you will, that was going to allow, for justice to actually take place. But the system was literally, there wasn't, I don't know if that county had like a cutbacks or what, but it didn't have the full, it was, like I said, picture the justice machine, or the justice system as a machine. At the time of the first abuse and everything, that machine was not working properly. There were parts that literally were not there that should have been there. And that's how he fell through the cracks. Literally. And what systemic blind spots enabled it? What systemic blind spots? Yeah. Hierophant in reverse. This is authority. Not being there, not being privy to what was going on. That's again part of the one of the parts of the justice machine that was not there. The devil in reverse. This is saying that because this was not in place, Jake was able to recover. The mob in reverse. He was able to move on with his life because, again, the justice system was broken. And I don't think that, because the mob card, again, it's not a traditional tarot card. It's an extra one in this deck, but it points to like the society, and it's like when there's one chink in the chain, it affects everything. And he was able to blend back into society. One area not working properly affects all other areas. This is Jake, King of Wands, plan of action man. Like, I am free to start over and live my life and perform this facade that I have been performing my whole life. What lesson is society being forced to confront through this tragedy? Sorry. What lesson is society being forced to confront through this tragedy? The loss of innocence. Sun in reverse. Literally the loss of innocence. Through death. And how this loss of innocence needs to change. We can't afford to have our system broken anymore because loss of innocence is at stake. What collective mask do we wear that allows the cycles of abuse to continue until it is too late? What collective mask do we wear that allows society cycles of abuse to continue? The Hangman in reverse, Strength in reverse. The mask that this is not our problem. I'm not strong enough to deal with it. It's not my issue to deal with. When you see something, instead of saying something, you just walk away and expect somebody else to do it. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. We need to do better, people. And then we get the Knight of Cups again. I don't know. What collective mask do we all wear? Collective mask that we wear is that the justice system works. We want to believe that so much because the idea of the truth is so terrifying. The Knight of Pentacles is slow and consistent. Our society has been slowly breaking down for a long, long time. And now it doesn't work at all. It actually works more for the criminals than it does for the victims. So we need to take off the mask of denial. And if you see something that is not right, you say something. Don't wait for the other person to do it. If you saw it first, that's your responsibility. All right, guys, that's it for this reading. I pray that Emmanuel's remains are found soon. But at least they won't see the light of day. At least, I hope not. Okay, I will see you very shortly in another one. If you are enjoying my content and you have not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Hit the notification bell so you are reminded every time I upload and you don't miss any more content. I will see you really shortly. Bye. Baby Emmanuel's story is not only about what happened inside one home. It is about what happens when cycles of violence are ignored, when warnings are dismissed, and when the masks of normal go unquestioned. Jake Haros' history was written long before Emmanuel was born. Rebecca's deception did not create the darkness. It only tried to hide it. And the system's silence allowed the shadow to grow stronger. This case forces us to confront a painful, painful truth. What we do not face in the light festers in the dark. The cards remind us the pattern will repeat until we break it. The wound will spread until we heal it. And the mask will suffocate until we remove it. There's urgency in my voice because this is an epidemic that has plagued our entire world. So tonight, as we close this dark chapter, I will leave you with this one question. What cycle in your own life needs to end before it destroys what you love? Because once that veil is lifted, there's no going back.